Good morning, guys and girls, and welcome back to another edition of Nick's Veggie Patch Weekend Edition. I'm down here at my allotment. I've got lots of things to do, lots of things to sort out. I'm going to be doing some more seed sowing at some point today, tidying up, some strimming of my plot, and hopefully loads of other fantastic stuff. And then I will give you guys a video sometime later on this evening, hopefully. But there's, as I say, there's lots to be done, lots to be getting on with down here. It's basically give the plot the once over to see what's going on. And then I can go from there and carry on the lovely work that I do on my vegetable plot. So I'll come back to you guys in a bit. Hey, this is one of the first raised beds that I've weeded this morning. I've put some manure down, which has got mushroom compost added into it, and then I've also put 1.5 bags of normal compost in it as well. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to cover it over with this black cloche, peg it down, and then this raised bed is going to be put to sleep and it will be ready for next year. So I'll come back to you when I've got the black netting on and show you the end results. Right, so there we have it. The first raised bed has been covered over with black cloche and ready to go for next year. Right, as you can see with this raised bed, that had my cabbages in and my first lot of broad beans that I sowed this year. I've now weeded this bed completely, taken all the weeds out, and I've now put mulch down from the big bag of mulch that I've got sat on one of my other raised beds that hasn't had anything in it this year at all. So this has now been completely covered with mulch, and what I'm going to do is I'm now going to cover it over with the black sheeting, and this raised bed will be ready to go for next year. So I'll show you that once I've put the black sheeting over, guys, and we'll be ready to go. And there we have it, guys, bed number 2 covered over in black sheeting, ready for the new growing season next year. Right, guys and girls, one of the things I noticed from the 3 or 4 weeks that I wasn't able to come down here, that some of the weeds have started to come through my black weed prevention that I've got down on the floor. So I've pulled as much of grass up as I can, but what I'm going to do is I've brought a couple of bags of this bark and I'm literally just going to throw it on top of the grass. Hopefully that will stop it from coming up even more, but it's not too bad. But yeah, just areas where the bark has gone a little bit bare, I'm just going to cover it over with more bark. Hopefully that will sort out the problem. It's only in a few areas. I will pull a few more of the weeds up where possible, but yeah, I'm just going to bark certain areas and then go round with the strimmer. Okay, the area that had the grassy sort of weeds coming up through, I've picked them all out, and then I've put the last couple of bags of bark down that I had in this area. I'll look at all the other areas and see where it needs it the most, and then I'll maybe put some more bark down if I've got any. But this is not too bad at the moment, so this should dry up pretty quick, and then hopefully it'll look a lot better, and then it's just a case of going around the edges with the strimmer and strimming. But at the moment this area is not looking too bad along the pathways, and it's just a few of the raised beds that need sorting out. Okay, welcome back. I'm stood at one of my raised beds that has got my green waste bags on and my green wheelie bin. That raised bed needs weeding, so in the week, if I don't get round to it today, I'll take the green waste bags off, I'll completely weed that again. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that raised bed down, I'm going to cover it in mulch, and I'm probably going to put black sheeting over it, but it's probably just going to have mulch, cover it over, get that ready for next year. Same with this raised bed here, finish the last of the weeding in it, and then I'm going to cover it over with mulch as well. I've got lots to do in the way of weeding, so I'll show you the rest of the plot, the areas that need weeding, and I will come back to you lovely people in a bit. So I've got this raised bed here. There's not many weeds in this one, but hopefully if it comes up in the greenhouse and I get some spinach, I'm going to put spinach in this raised bed. If not, again, this is one of the raised beds that will be just covered over with mulch, closed down for the rest of the year, ready for next year. The raised beds here, all I'm going to do with these, because these are what had the potato in, I'm just going to give these a good scraping over with a trowel, and then they're okay to go. But yeah, nothing needs doing with these because they've had no weeds coming up, which is a really good thing. So what I'll do now, guys, is I'll show you the last couple of raised beds and the last bit that I'm going to be weeding. Okay, so as you can see, several raised beds here. This one needs to be stripped out, weeded, and then I will cover that over with mulch. This raised bed here also needs weeding, and again I will cover that over with the mulch I got from Apsley Farm. As you can see, this raised bed has got my giant cabbage in it. I'll probably take the netting off just to see how that is. I don't know if I've won that this season. I definitely haven't won the sunflower competition. But yeah, there's some raised beds here. This one's absolutely fine, just a couple of weeds to take out, cover that over, ready for next year. Same with this raised bed here. This is what had my onions in it, so just a few weeds there, take it out, cover it over with mulch, shut it down, ready for next year. And I'll show you the last couple of areas that I need to weed and mulch over. So come to the raised bed here. This had cabbages in it and broad beans. All I'm going to do, again, take out the weeds, cover it over with mulch. That'll be ready to go for next year. And I'll come to the compost bin. This really, all I'm going to do is just take out the weeds, because it's just the weeds are taking over. I might even need to replace this compost bin because the wood has pretty much had it around it. But in this one, it's just a case of weeding the raised bed, weeding it, and this one is perfectly fine. And I'll just throw anything that isn't edible, which can be mulched, which can be thingy down in the compost, into my compost bin. Right guys, I've brought you into the polytunnel because, as you can tell, this had tomatoes and it's got slightly overgrown. So I'm just sort of taking back some of the tomatoes that were there because it's literally collapsed, as you can see. The tomatoes I grew were actually a tomato that just stays green, so hopefully they'll be okay. But yeah, I'll cut all this back, and then hopefully one side of it I'll have stuff ready if it comes up in the greenhouse, ready to go into the polytunnel here. I'll clear this side. I'm going to finish up for today. I will give you a little bit of a plot tour just to show you what I have done, but as I say, I've almost cleared this here in the polytunnel and we'll be ready to go. Right guys, I'll start you off in the greenhouse. Haven't done much in here today except just water the seedlings that I sowed during the week. I haven't done any more today. As I said, I probably would, as I've been busy doing other stuff on the plot. But as you can see, in here is tidy, which is the main thing. Hopefully the seeds will germinate and I'll be able to put some of them out into the ground ready for the hungry gap for next year, and some in the polytunnel. So what I'll do now is I'll take you around and show you the rest of the plot and show you what I've done today, guys. So we're in the greenhouse. I know I've just polytunnel, sorry, I know I've just shown you the polytunnel, but my tomato cane structure collapsed. It was overgrown anyway, so what I've done is I've collected all the tomatoes as much as I can, had to tidy up. There are also some celery that was hiding that look okay, so I pulled them up. This will eventually get all cleared out because I don't think we're going to get any more. All the tomatoes that were in here were a tomato that pretty much stay kind of green, so you can eat them as they are. Didn't get any aubergines this year as I thought I would do, but the only thing really left in here to clear out is the remaining tomatoes, and also now it will allow my chilies to carry on producing, which they are looking really good. So what I'll do now, guys, is I'll take you round and show you the other part of the plot. Okay, so I haven't done much around here. I've got to trim back the strawberries at some point. The rhubarb, just want to show you that, is looking absolutely amazing. Sprung back to life. Plenty of rhubarb. I'll be picking some of that in at the weekend. But all I've done is just giving these beds a bit of a brush over. They're looking ready for next year now. I've done some strimming around here, guys. It's not looking too bad. Needs to be done a bit more now. All of this is going to the tip when I can book an appointment. That lid for the obviously for this has had it, so I'm going to get rid of it. The rhubarb, there we go, the rhubarb, that will stay in this box until I can think of something else to put the rhubarb sort of in. This side generally, guys, I'm not too worried about because I don't think anything's going to materialise in here now, so it's just going to be a case of weeding these beds and shutting them down. Obviously I couldn't save these, I don't think, so there's always next year, try again. Obviously for the simple fact I was very ill in July and not had chance to come down here to the allotment, but other than that we're not looking too bad, guys, up, you know, this end generally. I've put more bark down in this area to cover up the grass and the patchy bits of black mesh. But yeah, I'll show you the rest of the plot, guys. Okay, here we've got runner beans and climbing beans. I didn't do as many this year as I normally do. I just didn't get round to it, but we have been picking them from them. They've been really nice, very tasty. My mum likes them. Had plenty of courgettes this year. Some I let go so big they became marrows. We've had chard, but I haven't trimmed it back, so some of it has started to flower. It's not too bad because I can take the leaves off that are healthier at the bottom. Got more kind of courgettes and stuff in this area. My giant leeks are coming on really well, so it won't be long for they're ready. I've got obviously different types of courgettes in this raised bed here, nice round ones. My sweet corn are almost ready for picking. So, and they're looking nice, fat and juicy. So they're pretty much all ready to go. What I'll do, guys, is I'll take you and show you the other part of the plot. Right, guys, we come around here. Not much is happening here. I've just moved a load of stuff that was around here and tidied up some of the raised beds. This raised bed here has basically got some compost and mulch in it, and I've shut it down over with black felt ready for next year, or cloche ready for next year's growing. I've done the same with this one. This one has got some compost and then it's got the mulch over the top. So there's just a couple round here that I've got to finish off. So this one here, probably do that in the week, strip that one clear, sort that one out, but I have to move the bag of mulch first. And then it's just basically, guys, general tidy up. The rest of it around here is not looking too bad. So yeah, overall, generally, I'm happy with what I've done this season. Not as good as last season, just for the simple fact is obviously in July when I was ready to pick it all, I became ill. But other than that, guys, as you can see, the plot generally is not looking too bad. And I hope to see you all guys, hopefully either in the week or next weekend, for another edition of Nick's Veggie Patch. Stay safe, everybody. This is a massive shout out to all my YouTube friends. Thanks for watching and subscribing. To see more from Nick's Veggie Patch, hit the thumb button at the bottom of the page to save video to favourites, and hit the button in the bottom right hand corner to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.